Welcome in to Sports Talk at the stadium tonight from Atlanta, Georgia Tech, Bobby Dodd Stadium, Grant Field, Clemson 26, Georgia Tech 7 in the Tigers ACC opener. And they came in determined to end their losing streak in Atlanta dating back to 2003. And they left no doubt, especially in the first half. The Tigers scored on their very first possession of the game to go up 7-0. And then defensively, they came out and stuffed Georgia Tech. Tigers eventually scored again to go up 14-0, knocked in 9 points in the last couple of minutes of the first half thanks to a very weird safety off a Georgia Tech interception of Deshaun Watson that was fumbled back into the end zone. Clemson recovered for a safety. Tigers got the ball, went down for a score, 23-0 at the half. And how dominant was Clemson's defense in the first half? Georgia Tech, with that great running attack and that triple option, had 22 yards of offense. And most of that came on the last play of the first half when Clemson was playing soft and Georgia Tech broke off about a 14-yard run. They did absolutely nothing on offense in the first half. In the second half, the Tigers basically just went through the motion and, felt like they had this game in control. There was a little period of time there where Georgia Tech started to move the ball, but every time it looked like they might get something going, Clemson would come up with a big defensive play, get a stop, force a punt, and basically continue to shut down Georgia Tech, even though offensively in the third quarter, Clemson only had the ball twice and couldn't really do anything with it. But again, Georgia Tech, with the not come from behind offense that they have, they weren't really going to be able to make up those 23 points. The Tigers added a field goal to get to 26 points, and that was by far more than they would need. So the Tigers come in and they break that streak. They also extend a streak. They extend their regular season winning streak to 19 games. Their last regular season loss was right here in Atlanta back in November of 2014, the game that Deshaun Watson hurt his knee. Since then, the Tigers have not lost in the regular season, and their only loss was to Alabama in the national championship game last January. So their goal was to come in here and end the hex in Atlanta, and they got it done. They did suffer one injury. Linebacker Jalen Williams went down with a knee injury. Dabo Swinney said it's an MCL injury, so it's not going to cost him the season. He should be back in a few weeks. Deshaun Watson was really sharp. The Tigers threw the ball a lot because of the way Georgia Tech was playing them with soft coverage. They had a lot of men up in the box, and the Tigers attacked the flank, and Deshaun Watson was really sharp. Ray McCloud stood out with some tremendous catches and runs after catches, and also, of course, his threat in the punt return game was there as well. When Watson had the rare occurrence when Georgia Tech would put pressure on him, he would feel the pressure, and he would run away from it and either pick up a first down or pick up a nice gain. Seldom did they get their hands on Watson tonight. That's how dominant Clemson was up front for the most part. The Clemson defensive line, however, deserves the gold star. They totally dominated Georgia Tech's offensive line. The Yellow Jackets had no opportunity, for the most part, when the game was still a game, to get into their triple option. The first option was hardly there because Clemson's defensive front was so dominant and penetrating that Justin Thomas had nowhere to go, and he had no time to pass the ball either. And the domination of the Clemson defensive front kept those offensive linemen off the linebackers and allowed Ben Boulware and Darian O'Daniel to have a big night with tackles. They combined with 19. The only other negative was the missed field goal, 27 yards by Heigl. However, he did respond in the fourth quarter. Did I say Heigl? I meant Hugel. It's late. He did respond in the fourth quarter with a career-tying 47-yarder, so that got him back in the good graces of the coaching staff. So the Tigers open ACC play on the road with a win. They break the losing streak in Atlanta. They extend the regular season winning streak, and now they go home to face the Louisville Cardinals in their first division game, and a game that will pit, in all likelihood, two top five teams as long as Louisville doesn't stub its toe at Marshall on Saturday. And this, by all accounts, should be just a dynamic football game with two electric quarterbacks, offenses that can score points upon points, and just great athletes all over the field, reminiscent, of course, of many Clemson, Florida State games of the past and the present. Florida State will be dealt with down the road. But the Tigers want to enjoy this one for a couple of days. They have a couple of extra days to get ready for Louisville, and then they'll start getting to work on the Cardinals this weekend. Take a listen to what Dabo Swinney and the Tigers had to say right here on the website, sportstalksc.com. On Sunday, Dabo Swinney's regular conference call. We'll have that for you on the website as well. And, of course, Monday night on Sports Talk. What am I saying? Friday night on Sports Talk. This is Thursday. Friday night, tomorrow night on Sports Talk, we'll hear from you and get your thoughts about what the Tigers did here tonight in Atlanta. That'll do it from here at Grant Field. Phil Kornblut here, Sports Talk at the Stadium. Have a good night.